evening, and welcome to another episode of The Whitest Mexican You Know. I'm your host, Antonio. Obviously, I am the whitest Mexican you know. If my fucking mic stand doesn't drop out of the fucking universe, what the shit is this? Alright. I'm going to keep that in. Fuck it. Every week, or every episode, I try to have some of the best local Las Vegas comics on here. Today's a little bit different, because we got my man, Nando Cantu. Coming all the way from Laredo, Texas. What's up, brother?
What up, man?
How you doing? How's Vegas treating you?
It's a little rough. It's wilder than I thought it was going to be.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun fucking living out here, but it breeds degenerates.
Dude.
And you're not a drinker, are you?
I used to drink and do a lot of drugs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And you just had to...
Oh, dude, I've had that problem all my life. You know what I mean? Like, I went to a first rehab when I was like 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, then, it's the border. I live in a border town, so like cocaine and...
Everything
it's
comes
so
through.
cheap and like easy. Like it's easier to get coke than it is to get beer when you're just like a teenager.
Yeah.
So
damn. And like, what was it? Mostly like coke? Did you get into anything else crazy, like meth or anything?
I did meth a couple times. Like once we did meth to move my cousin's furniture, and we like did it fucking so quick. Just like a little Mexican, like really like ants. We were just like,
dude, fuck yeah. That's the way to do it. I mean, if you're gonna do a fucking drug that gives you superpowers and keeps you up, like. Yeah. Be productive at least. And then it's just a lot of drinking because you're Mexican, so we come from those people.
Fucking tons of drinking. And then, yeah.
That's 15. You said your first rehab?
First rehab.
And how many times after that?
Like 5.
No shit.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been sober now?
3 years.
Oh, that's good. That's
it's
good,
all right. It gets kind of like I miss the drinking because like the camaraderie, like I can't really like hang out like fully with like the other comics because they're all drunken degenerates.
Yeah.
It was like ruin my life or
right.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep telling myself. It's like I'm not addicted to drinking and drugs. I'm addicted to the hangout.
Yeah,
it's a cheap excuse probably, but
it is what it is.
But it is. That's something because it's like Mexican people. Like I grew up. I'm half white, half Mexican.
Right.
But I grew up with the Mexican side of my family. And, that's how we always bond over food and drinking. That was everything. If somebody new comes into the family or at a party, first thing you do is give them a beer and give them a plate of food. Like
Right.
So, yeah. I've had that problem a lot, I know I have an addictive personality. Like back in the day, I did a lot of morphine and heroin a little bit, so... Took me a long time to get off of that shit, dude.
I had a little bout with heroin. But I did it like when I was already middle-aged because I was like, my kid's grown up. I'm going to do. Let me just try this. And
that's hilarious.
Coke with cocaine? Oh, it's the best.
Speedball.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I never injected anything. Like with heroin, I snorted it. With morphine, it was pills, stuff like that. So... I'm so glad I didn't get into that.
But every time you snort it, you're like, how much am I wasting?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Economy, you know what I mean? Bang.
Right. And I only did heroin like a handful of times. It was mostly the morphine because I got it for free.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was my buddy. He was stealing it from his uncle who had a leg amputated. And so they would prescribe him like morphine pills. And my buddy used to just take all of them and just give them to me. So like I never bought it and it fucking like 2 or 3 years. Like,
you're like, here's some aspirin.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. It was fucked.
Poor fuck with one leg.
Yeah. And I even think about it. Like, I tell people, I've been off morphine for like, 7 years, 8 years, something like that I've been completely off of that. But I think about it almost every day. Like, that's how deep that shit goes. It's like, if I'm, like even today, I was in the shower, I'm hungover, I'm just trying to like wake myself up. I was like, what would take away the pain right now?
Fucking more.
A little bit of morphine.
I'm like that with Coke. Like, if I'm really sleepy, I'm like, fuck, a bump would just like brighten my day.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids.
Or do, and then, whatever.
Yeah. As long as you can handle it. I feel like I can, that's the thing, like with my drinking, like I can handle it because I'm still productive.
Yeah.
I still... do my spots. I still write, I do this podcast. This is the third one in the the last 3 days.
I noticed that about you. Like, you don't get sloppy. I get sloppy.
Oh,
I'm
really?
a fucking mess.
Yeah.
I get DUIs. Nah, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah, some people just can't handle it. Like my buddy, one of the comics around here. I don't know. Oh, you're from Texas. You know Jake Yarborough?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Jake.
That cocksucker.
He's a degenerate.
He can't handle it. He gets sloppy when he gets drunk.
Yeah, we're the good ones. He's the bad one.
Yeah. Fuck all you Texas guys coming out here. The city's being overrun by Texas comics, and everybody hates you for it.
Does it really? There's a fucking thing about it?
They start to get that way. It's like it started with Adam Dominguez, and then now fucking everybody's out here.
We're kind of like that in Texas about Californians because it's starting to kind of hit Austin. It just made it really expensive.
Yeah. So, how long you been doing comedy?
Man, I did comedy in 2008 for about a year in Austin, and then I got busy, and then I kind of fell out of it. I was fucking terrible, by the way. Like, it was awful.
I mean, we all are and were.
You start off, you're really dirty because you're trying to push the envelope.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like all pedophile jokes, and this is terrible shit.
Right.
And then I stopped. I moved back to Laredo, and I found out they were doing comedy in Laredo, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it's wild.
It's like 10 people in Laredo.
Yeah.
And I hooked up with that gang, and then I probably almost on my 5th year.
Nice.
Straight.
Nice.
Yeah.
So 5th year, so you got back, 2016, 2017?
Yeah, 28, like probably 17, 18.
Okay.
And then...
and how different was getting back into comedy after almost 10 years?
You know what's funny? I think with like age, you have more stories, and so it becomes easier to write. Like when I was younger,
right,
it was harder for me to write, and then so I was always writing like just awful, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like I had a joke about the puppetry of the penis, like at a kids show and tell. Like that was like my first joke, and like people just stare at me like, "What the fuck?" You know? I was like, "Ha ha ha," you know? Okay. Yeah, but
it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, so right, and I've seen your set. Like, it's more. Not like sophisticated comedy, but it's more grown up, maybe
a little.
Yeah. It's like, like you said, you get older, you have life experiences.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do. Like, that's mostly what I talk about is like, shit that's happened to me. Like the stripper with Tourette's, like that's a real story.
You can't make that shit up, dude.
You can't make it up.
Yeah.
But my first set, I went on this whole thing about getting mad at a guy at an In-N-Out. And like having this fantasy about like fucking him in the ass and like this whole like just like raping the dude at the In-N-Out. It's like that was my entire set. It was ridiculous.
Why do you gotta make it hot?
Right?
Jesus.
That's why the audience didn't laugh. They just came in their pants.
Like that's fucked up.
Yeah. Damn. So what was I gonna say? Have you done like now doing all your comedy shit in Laredo? Do you try to travel around Texas and hit all those spots?
I get gigs like in San Antonio and Corpus Christi mostly. I've done like Austin like once before the pandemic, and then everything fucked all. Like I was just starting to get out there, and then pandemic kind of fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then the Valley once, and then so I was still drinking, and I was actually taking a female comic to go do a show, but she didn't really. Well, I should say that, but she was a little iffy about going out of town by herself. Like she's a girl, she's little.
Yeah.
So I drove her over there, and we go, and the guy gives me a spot. I'm like, fuck yeah, and it was like a really big room, and I was getting nervous, and then I only got paid. I didn't get paid, but I got free bar tab. So
nice.
Bang, 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 bang. Like I probably had $150 with a beer.
Oh, dude.
And then there were like shot girls going on. Oh, try this whiskey. I'm like, yes, I will. Thank
you.
So I'm like fucked up doing like 5 minutes, and then I get off stage. I do all right, but the guy in front of me, he's like the host, but he's like a monster comic.
Yeah.
And he just fucking destroyed the room. And I went up after him, was like warm water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, we get drunk, we go to the guy's house, and we're smoking blunt after blunt after blunt. And my great idea was like, let's go home. And we still have beer, so we're drinking in the car, driving home from it's a 4-hour drive to the Valley.
It's all those country roads that everybody just pops a beer on.
So we're halfway there, and a fucking cop pulls us over. And I'm still have like a fucking beer in my hand. I'm like, oh, hold this. And I get thrown in jail. She gets to walk to a little convenience store and have another friend pick her up.
Yeah.
And so I wake up in jail, and if you go to a fucking drunk tank, you should never say like, ooh, slumber party. Nobody fucking likes that shit, man. I'm like, no humor? Okay. But I saw the judge in the morning, and I told him what had happened. I was with a comedy show, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, if you can make me laugh, I'll let you out without like getting a bond.
No shit.
Yeah. So then I was like, R. Kelly joke. Boom, boom. It was 3 years ago. And he was like, all right, you can leave. And then so I didn't get the bond. Like I just went to my cell, and they just sent me right out. I'm still drunk.
Shit.
Yeah. I'm just like walking out. I'm like, let me find a cafe. And I had like 2 hours to find my car because I was calling every fucking tow truck place because I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the fucking waitress knew it, and it was a long story, but
Dude,
I finally made it home, but it was rough.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
My dumbass would probably just make a joke about a cop or a judge and just get my ass thrown back in jail.
That's kind of how we are, right? It's like, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot.
Yeah. We're very self-destructive people.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
And so what do you think about, like, because you've been to a lot of shows since you've been out here.
Yeah.
What do you think about, like, the Vegas comedy scene in general?
Man, I feel like you guys are lucky in one way, but like it's so much crazier than it, like our scene and like Texas scene is way more tame.
Really?
Yeah, like in party sense, like you guys are going all night and shit and partying and hanging out. We do some of that. We'll hang out at the Comedy House in San Antonio, and we just chill out and smoke weed and all that. Well, I don't, but they do.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man, I think it's like you can really develop here because you were saying earlier, like there's 2 mics a night.
Yeah.
And get on stage time.
Yeah, if you really want to, you can grind really hard out here. And honestly, a lot of people, like, bigger comics that, float around in the scene, they like to see those comics who are out every night working on shit and, seeing the improvement on, because I knew, or this guy, I don't know if you met him, Evan Connolly, he was at the Dirty, bald dude, fucking glasses. But I met him at a show that I was hosting like 2 months after he started. Okay. This is like a year and a half ago.
Right.
But he was only 2 months in. And so, he's talking to me about comedy and like how he's kind of nervous, whatever. He hasn't done it very much. And he goes up there and I could tell he's like awkward on, that stiffness on stage. But his writing was brilliant. Like one-liners, like it was fucking phenomenal writing. And it's just in this like last year because he grinded so hard. Like I've seen him fucking shoot past so many people in just quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's that thing. And other, bigger names see that. And because if you're a comic that you go to like 1 mic a week and it's the same shit and, you're kind of stagnating.
Yeah.
You get forgotten,
Yeah. In Laredo, we got 1 mic a week now. It's fucking terrible.
Really?
So we have to go to Corpus or San Antonio to go get an extra mic.
How far is Corpus from Laredo?
It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
2 hours, damn.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It's where the Corpus scene is amazing. Like they're so fucking friendly, and then the audiences are like down to laugh. Nice. Like so, you're never just like in Laredo. You might be like just 4 drunks, and you're trying to like talk them into laughing. You're like, hey,
That's how a lot of the scene is out here. Sometimes, I mean, you'll go to a fucking bullshit bar.
Yeah,
there's like 20 comics in the room, and only like 4 drunk people sitting at the bar and gambling.
Yeah.
And it's like, because we have the little video machines. And so they just sit there and gamble all night. And then sometimes and I've seen this happen when I'm on stage and I'm just trying to go through it. And then I see somebody just like lift their head up from their machine and stare at me.
Yeah.
And like, because I've been focusing on the audience, like the comics, 4 people.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's like, I look over at them all the time, but then I catch them looking at me and then just disgust. And just go right back to their video poker. I'm like, oh, it destroys you.
Dude, it's the worst. It was like, where you're there and like, my comedy's not that great. Like, I feel like it doesn't work that well for women. And there'll be an audience full of people and then I'm like doing my shit.
Yeah.
And there'll be like one girl just staring at me blankly. And I'm just like, God, how do I get this bitch?
And you focus. Like everybody could be loving it.
Ruins the whole night for me. I'm
the same way. It's like I did a show on Monday. Again, some like small sports bar or whatever, mostly comics. And then there's a table of 3 people that are sitting like as close as me and you are. Table of 3 people. And I'm giving it my all,
Yeah.
And I was like, I tuned out everybody else and I'm just focused on them. At this point, I was just having a conversation with them. I'm just like, I'm going to get you to laugh. And we're going through it. And it was like my last joke that I finally just got like a smile and a head nod. And I was like, Gotcha. It wasn't a belly laugh, but I got something out of you because they were just blank and just staring at me. And I was like, oh.
Dude, my favorite bombs is like when everybody bombs. So you're like, well, everybody bombed.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't feel like such a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks if like
it's just you.
It's
like,
just you.
Fuck.
Like especially if the comic before you kills, and then you get up there and like you said, just fucking like lukewarm water.
Dude, that happened to me at this place called Whispers in Laredo, and the first time I went up, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is my kind of place." They're like a bunch of roughnecks, and then nothing. It was just silence, and I was like, "Woof." I got the fuck off stage. Like I think it was like 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah. No. Wow.
And that became my nickname for like a week or 2. I was like, fucking dicks.
Oh, that's hilarious. I did a show when I was in Texas, in Houston. The Secret Group.
Yeah, I've
out
heard
in
of it.
Houston. It was a great fucking show. You know, a lot of awesome comics. But I was up there and it was weird. Like I would have them on my side and they'd be laughing with me and then I would say something, you know, like one of my punchlines is, you know, why does your pussy smell like gingivitis? And fucking dies.
Oh.
And it's like because there were so many women in the audience and I
Yeah.
think it's like I've heard that like the word pussy kind of, you know, makes women weird sometimes and then just that whole sex story, it's like they gave me nothing. And I was like, oh. And then I had this.
That's genius. I
Yeah.
like it. That's my kind of humor. Like,
Yeah.
if it's all dudes, I'm fucking killing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, women will fuck me up. I used to do this joke, and it's a stupid joke, a throwaway joke. It was like, I had to, because of these woke times or whatever, I had to stop calling women bitches, and I refer to women as emotional support animals. And one time I did that joke in front of a bunch of women, and it was like mostly like 2 dudes, and it was like all like older ladies.
Yeah.
They just stared at me like I was like the biggest piece of shit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which made it worth it. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
take that one.
And then in Houston, I was talking a lot about like, you know, putting my girlfriend through hell, you know,
Yeah.
like fucking like going missing and you know, fucking shit in the bed one time by accident.
Nice.
Like, and like I'm telling all these stories, and these women are just fucking disgusted by me, and I think that's where I lost them. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like,
Too real.
I'm still a good boyfriend. Like my girlfriend is just a trooper, and they were just like, ugh, like fuck this guy.
Dude, I shit the bed once too. I got so drunk and I just woke up just like all muddy.
Really?
Yeah, it was not all, but at least I was living alone.
Yeah.
I had to clean up my own mess. It was the worst.
Yeah. I've shit my pants way more than I'm proud to admit. And like one time it was like I was super hungover and just laying in bed and I was just wearing like gym shorts, but like no underwear, no nothing, and I'm just laying in bed and I try to like squeak out a fart and then right away I feel it and so I clinch and then I get up and I run to the bathroom. And then while I'm sitting down, I hear my girl go, "Ew! You left a streak mark on the bed." I was like, "Damn it! I thought I made it."
That's nice.
I thought I closed those gates before it released.
Well, as a fat guy over 40, you never trust a fart.
Right?
Yeah. One time I was talking to this girl at a bar. It was like this nightclub, and the music was like, when I was super hot, and I was like talking to her, and I let one squeeze out. I figured it's fucking loud. No one's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
And then I just like sharted, and then like I didn't really notice I sharted, so I was just like,
"Oh no!"
And she could smell it. I'm like, I gotta go.
I think I have dog shit on my shoe.
Yeah, that's what it was.
One time I was fucking. It was a Christmas party for the company that I worked for. They had this huge Christmas party, and then like a lot of people left there and went to a little nightclub downtown. And we're all hanging out, whatever, and I'm walking from one side of the dance floor to the bar that's on the other side of the dance floor.
Okay.
And it's loud or whatever, and so I'm like crop dusting everybody on the dance floor. And then I get to the bar and I'm just chilling there, and one of my coworkers like comes running over to me and he goes, "Dude, it smells like somebody shit their pants on the fucking dance floor." I was like, "What?" And then you see the whole crowd just start going away, and I was like, I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad.
Dude, that's awesome.
Like people thought like somebody legit shit themselves. It was awesome. I love that shit.
I used to go to the movies with my friends, and then I would love to just like fart really loudly and just blame it on him. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it, bro, I can't take you anywhere. And like sit away from him.
Right.
It's hacky, but whatever.
That's fantastic. I shit myself at work one time. I was on lunch break. And, you know, I got some Taco Bell shit, and I'm sitting in the parking lot at work, finish eating. Same thing. I try to squeeze one out and fucking ruin my underwear. And so then I'm like trying to figure out what I should do because I worked 30 minutes from where I lived. So it's like I can't run home real quick. So I'm just sitting there, and then I call my manager. He's inside, and I'm sitting out on the parking lot, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm just going to be real with you." It's like, I just shit my pants in the parking lot. And he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what to tell you." And he goes, "All right, go home, I guess." And I was like, "Yeah, I think my day's over." He goes, "All right, yeah, get the fuck out of here."
You're like, my tummy grumbling.
All right, go to my manager. "My tummy hurts."
Dude, in Mexico, we have these bars, and if you pay $15 to $20, you can drink all night. So we go in. I was like maybe 20,
Yeah.
and I saw that, and I was fucking. At the end of the night, I'm fucked up, right? And I see this girl who I know is like almost a for sure thing. She's super easy.
Nice.
So I'm talking to her, and I'm like, okay, I need to get this chick to my car so I can get the fuck out of here and get laid. And then, but I have to pee, and I'm like, I don't trust her enough to like walk off the pee for her not to be able to talk to some other guy because she's that much of a slut. And so that was shaming. I'm sorry.
Stupid sluts. Anyway.
So drunk Nando logic, you just peed right in front of her. But I was wearing black jeans, so I thought maybe she didn't notice, but I just kind of like, like I kind of like walked off.
Wow.
I run into her like 20 years later, and I told her the story, and she was like, I didn't even notice. She was fucked up. I was like, oh. And then we dated. Right.
And that was the mother of my child.
Right. We have 4 kids now. We're Mexican.
Right. And I couldn't imagine just pissing in my pants, like just let it go.
It seemed like the thing to do.
That's wild. Like I'd have just been like, come over here, let's like talk outside, and then like fucking
pull your cock out,
just like start pissing off to the side.
Just pee on her, see if she's into it.
I pissed in a Ferris wheel in Galveston.
Nice. That's what you're supposed to do in Galveston.
They have that like pleasure pier where it's like carnival shit.
Yeah. The gumbo bum shrimp bullshit. Yeah.
And so like I've been drinking all day, and then I thought, I was planning this. I was like, I'm gonna take my girl on the Ferris wheel, like right as the sun is setting, like this whole fucking mood I was trying to set. I have a fear of heights, though.
Me too.
Like, really bad.
Yeah.
And I thought the Ferris wheel would be okay, because it's not going crazy or anything. It's like, but as soon as we get up there, I start freaking the fuck out. And I'm like gripping onto that center pole, and I'm fucking tense. And she's sitting there, and she's like, oh, man. She goes, I didn't realize, like, it was this bad. I was like, yeah, I can't fucking handle this. And then I had to piss really bad. And they just kept taking us around and around.
Slow.
And I couldn't fucking hold it anymore. And I was like, I was even asking her, I was like, what the fuck should I do? Like, should I just piss myself? It's like, then our night's over and I got to walk through all these people. And I was like, I could try to piss off the side, but I'm going to hit somebody, and this is going to be a whole ordeal. Earlier that day, we had bought a little sunscreen from like one of these gift shops, and it came in just a little bag like this, So she took the sunscreen out and she goes, this is all we got. So she held it open for me, and I just
your girlfriend is like the best.
She deserves every gold star.
Gold medal, yeah, dude.
I'm just gonna give her a plaque.
Does she have like an older sister? Or?
She's an only child.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I caught the only one.
Nice. You broke the mold.
Dude, yeah, I put her through a lot.
Dude, she's gangster to put up with you. My girl's just leave and cheat on me.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, at this point, if she cheated on me, I'd be like, all right, like, I get it. Well, no, I wouldn't, because the sex is, like, I'm good at what I do in bed,
Are you?
But it's, like, emotionally, if she, like, found a boyfriend but never fucked him, I'd be like, okay, emotionally cheating on me, I get that 100%.
Right. You need a gay best friend, right?
Yeah, right? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I put women through a lot, especially her.
Dude, I'm the worst. But I've been dating, well, not dating, but I had a couple like affairs with like married women.
Okay.
And they have not gone that great. You know what I mean?
Really?
Well, one.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
May have may have knocked her up. I'm not sure because like we're both probably banging her. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I did a joke about it on stage, like, oh, I got my side chick pregnant. But thank God her husband's gonna raise it. What a guy, you know what I mean? And
damn.
Yeah. Then a mutual friend saw the joke on stage, and he was like, "Fucking asshole." I couldn't help it.
And so you never addressed it? Like,
I talked to her, and she has no idea. So it's kind of like up in the air.
Damn.
It doesn't look like me, but that doesn't mean anything really.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he's like a fucking husband's a white dude, and then his little brown baby comes out.
He's kind of white. He's white Mexican, like kind of like you, but like being older. And I'm not that dark, but he came out really big. So she was like, oh, he's huge. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, no.
9 pounds, 2 ounces, like son of a bitch.
Oh no, the weight is genetic.
Right. Oh, like goddamn, he's fat too.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into like real trouble, like getting caught or anything like that?
Nah.
No,
I'm pretty careful.
You're really good about that.
Yeah, it was. In my defense, it was like the quarantine, so it'd been like nobody. in Laredo, people took it too seriously, and so like nobody went out. So it was like,
and so you're just
desolate by myself, living alone, just jerking off with my dogs. You know what I mean? Like, it was not awesome. You know what I mean? So then she offered to me. You know what I mean? She was like, she liked me and all this bullshit. We used to play cards together or something. Probably shouldn't have said that either. So yeah, then so it just kind of happened, and then it ended. But
nice.
Not really. Then I told my gay best friend about it, and he's also mutual friends with her. Yeah. And I told her, "Oh man, load after load after load," you know, a little excited. And then when she told him that she was pregnant, he just in his head, he was like, "Load after load after load." I'm like, no,
no. It's like it starts echoing. Yeah. Like, load.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that fucking piece of shit,
dude. That's tough, man." When I was, like barely like 19 or 20, I had a high school girlfriend. Dated all through high school, and then right out of high school. And at the end of that time, I was like working at a restaurant, and all these fucking waitresses and shit, and so I started cheating on her a lot. And then there was this point where I was like, kind of dating a chick that I worked with, and then fucking had my high school girlfriend. And so it was this weird thing, like neither of them knew about each other. And so I'm balancing this. I literally, at one point, like my girlfriend was staying at my house, and I got out of bed at 3 a.m., got in my car, drove to the side chick's house, banged her a couple times, drove back to my house at like 5, slipped back into bed. And like, I don't know if she ever woke up, if she ever noticed, but eventually, like, I took acid. The first time I ever did acid was when I was doing this whole thing, and it fucking tore my world down. And I was like, I gotta admit this. And so I admitted to my girlfriend, it was a whole fucking, whatever. And then we, like, I pretty much told her, like, I'm not good for you. Yeah. We gotta break up. And then we had sex that night. She stayed the night. And then in the morning, I was like, everything I said last night still stands. Like, just because we fucked doesn't mean we're getting back together. And then she called me an asshole and all of this, like, threw shit around and then left. I ended up dating the side chick for like 8 months. At the end of that 8 months, bitch told me she had herpes. Oh. And I never knew. Load after load.
Like lip herpes or cock herpes?
The fucking, genital.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was like, and I started freaking out. Like, I was like, oh shit, like, my life's over, you know? And I'm, yelling at her and shit. And she goes, I don't know why you're freaking out so much. What the fuck are you talking about? She goes, none of my other boyfriends freaked out this much. I was like, bitch, I don't care. I was like, this is something you have to tell me or whatever. She goes, I thought it was obvious. Like, there would be,
speed bumps in her vagina?
I have a bit that I do. I was like, nice. We had a very bumpy relationship.
Nice.
But it's like, she was like, I thought it was obvious because, like once or twice a month, she wouldn't want to have sex with me, Yeah. And she would just like, it was because it was flaring up.
Yeah.
And, oh man. And then I broke up with her. I quit my job and moved to Colorado in a week. Wow. Like I just fucking picked up and left.
Did you get tested?
Eventually. I was like celibate for a year. Like,
no way.
I didn't have sex with anybody for a year.
Like, you're unclean.
Yeah. Forever unclean. And then I finally got tested like a year later, and I go, they do all the blood work or whatever, and I'm waiting for results. I get a call from the clinic while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And I have like headphones in or whatever. Just let it go to voicemail. And it's like, because I, lived in the ghettos, this little Mexican nurse, and she goes, hello, Antonio, this is Norma. And I'm going to,
Norma, it's such a Mexican name.
And so she just said, you're negative for everything or whatever. I'm just standing there at work, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm good.
Just do like a handstand, like, yes.
I high-fived my manager, and he had no idea what was going on. And I was just like, motherfucker. High-fived him, and I was like, I'm going on break. Right. And my manager's just standing there. He's like, what the fuck?
You're like, and I'm on Tinder. Ding,
yeah,
ding,
right?
Ding, ding.
Now let's get laid. Yeah, but that was so bad for me. But it was like, I thought about it for a long time, and I was like, that's got to be like karma, Because I cheated on my high school girlfriend. Like, this chick never did anything bad to me. Cheated on her with this bitch. This bitch tried to give me herpes.
All right, real talk. If she admitted she had herpes before you fucked her, would you have fucked her?
Probably, but I would have.
That guy answer right there.
But I at least would have worn a condom. You know what I mean?
Doesn't help.
But it's
skin on skin, so like your balls would have touched you.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's it's one of those things. Like an experience like that in your early, like I was barely like 20.
Yeah.
That changes your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I would have rolled the dice too. I'm like, no herpes. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna pause this real quick, and then. All right.
All right.
Forgot what we were talking about. That doesn't matter.
Your disease cock is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Fuck.
You lucky fuck.
I know. God damn it. I've escaped so much in my life. I should be dead now.
But if herpes is not that bad. It comes and goes, and then I heard.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your disease cock.
Luckily enough, I've never gotten shit.
Really?
I got like the other herpes, the one on the lip that everybody gets.
Oh yeah. That's common.
But so I got told I had that, and I thought I had the other kind, and I'm such an idiot. And Mexican doctors are the worst. They don't tell you anything. So I thought I had the real herpes, like the downstairs herpes.
Yeah.
And so I told my girlfriend at the time. She was like fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And she was like, she insisted on me getting retested.
Yeah.
And then she went with me, which is even worse.
Oh.
And she was like, oh, she was horrible. She was a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of your girlfriend. Just
Right.
like a fucking nightmare. Like she was like a really feminist, so sometimes she wouldn't shave her legs. So I'd be fucking her, and there were like two hairy legs with like dude hairy legs. You know what I mean? I'd be like, am I fucking a guy? Okay, some titties. All right. Wait, that's not a for sure thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it was the worst. She's like, it hurts my legs to shave. She was the fucking worst chick.
How long did you date her?
Man, off and on for like 3 or 4 years.
Dude,
We would
fuck.
date for 6 months, break up, see other people, and then like one time we decided to have an open thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was fucking this chick from across from Mexico, and she had huge titties, and this chick was kind of flat,
Yeah.
and I'm never getting laid again if someone hears this. Right, so like, so I'm with this girl for the weekend, and she stayed at my house, and then I was gonna drop her off at her car so she can go back to Mexico where she belongs. No, yeah. So again, load after load after load. So I was all excited, and she was trying to call me all weekend, and I just fucking ignored, and she was like, "Why fuck somebody else?" I'm like, "Well, me too."
Yeah. That was the point.
And then so she came over, and then we had sex again, and then we got back together. But my dick did not feel good. I was like, it was raw. But I was proud of myself. You know what I
There
mean?
you go.
Men are horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Women can be fucking shit sometimes.
Oh, dude. Never date a feminist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did she like not shave her armpits either?
She would shave her armpits, which is kind of weird.
Okay.
But just her cooch was like a mess. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Well, not a mess. It was just hairy.
Yeah.
After a while, you kind of get used to it because the girl before that, like she was just wax floor, right?
Yeah.
And it's nice because I like to eat pussy, so I'm like, blah, 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 you know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, it's just like.
See, I remember I worked at this little like vape shop in Colorado, and nothing but hippie chicks out there, like
Oof.
these feminist, ridiculous women.
Yeah.
But there's one time because I can't deal with like too much body hair on a woman. Like it's just that's my preference. I don't give a fuck what people say. Like I just don't like it, you know. And so this really like smoking hot chick comes in, and she, you know, you could tell she was like a little hippie chick, but she was smoking. And, you know, she's talking, she's real friendly, and I'm chatting her up. And then she does one of these, and I see just fucking
Nice.
a monster under her arms. And like right away, she went from being the hottest thing in the world to
Being disgusting.
yeah. I don't know what it
Be
is.
ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Get out of here. Fucking Sasquatch pits. Yeah.
Yummy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about how men are pieces of shit. No, so what I wanted to ask is, you know, because you said like what, you're in your 40s?
Yeah, I'm 47.
40s? No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing's gonna fucking fall. 47, no shit.
Yeah. I don't know how it happened. I didn't think I was a live past 25 because I was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm surprised. Like I'm only 27 right now, but it's like I'm surprised I made it this far.
Yeah, but you have like an apartment and a girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have any of that. I was just a fucking crazy fuck.
Yeah. So what made you want to do stand up so late in life?
Dude, growing up as a kid, like I was never into sports.
Mhm.
I was like a little chubby kid, so
Yeah.
I didn't like that. But like I would always watch stand up, like on HBO, like Carlin and Dangerfield,
Mhm.
and Dice Clay, and all these Kinnison,
Yeah.
and it's fucking fascinated me. I would just like watch it all the time. I like love stand up, and I would like follow, you know, Saget, everybody. I would just anybody I could watch, I would watch.
Yeah.
Not really thinking anything of it, but
Mm.
I always wanted to be a comic, but I never had the balls to like find a place to go do it.
Yeah.
In Laredo, there wasn't one, so
Yeah.
and I moved to Austin, I was always like the funny guy in a group.
Really?
And well, yeah. And I would like crack my friends up.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of shy at the same time. So like I'm in strangers, I'm kind of quiet and reserved. But then when I'm with my friends, I'm like just a fucking like a clown.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine who did stand up or tried it, but was terrible at it, suggested I try it.
Really?
So then I wrote a few jokes and I thought, it's got to be 5 minutes. And it was like maybe 2.
Yeah.
And it was the worst. But then I just got you get the taste of it and you're just like, I got to do this again.
Yeah. And that's what really tells somebody, you know, whether you should keep doing it or not.
Yeah.
Is if like, because my first time, I recorded it. It's on YouTube,
Right.
like all this shit, and it's terrible. Obviously, it was my first time ever doing it. But when I got off stage, I was riding this high. Like I didn't care. Like I got maybe like a chuckle, but everything else bombed. But it was just this high of like, dude, I did it. I remembered everything I wanted to talk about. Like I didn't freeze up or anything like that. I was like, I'm fucking doing this. Like, and it was just that thing. And it's like right after that, I just started going out every night. And that's how it's been for like the last 2.5 years.
That's kind of how it was for me when I went back to Laredo after I quit. I found out they were doing comedy, and then it was like it's really bad in Laredo. Like we used to do this place called Pizza Rico, but in the parking lot.
Oh wow!
So there's skater kids and a couple, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those mics where it was like music, poetry, or comedy, and then poetry. Those are the worst. But that's how I started, and then. The comics there were real friendly, and we came up, and then we all started hanging out and drinking beer and stuff, and they helped me out, like, slow it down, write
give
this,
you advice,
clean it up a little bit, don't be so fucking dirty, and I'd be like, fuck you, you're dirty too, I fucking fuck your advice now,
right,
and I did like shitty mics for a long time, dude. Like it was like there used to be this place called Alamo Draft House. It's a movie theater. You've heard of it, right? So in the waiting room, we would do a mic there on Thursdays.
Really?
And then
That's cool.
you had maybe like 3 drunks, and then you're doing it in the middle of a bit, and then all these fucking people come out of a movie theater.
Yeah.
And you're talking like herpes. Right.
Pussy smell like gingivitis.
Yeah. One time I got kicked off the stage because it was like all these people waiting for like Toy Story 2 or whatever the fuck one of those movies. And there's just people with tons of fucking kids. And I just go up there, I have no clean material.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, condoms, who needs them, right, folks? And then they're like, get them off. And then they're like, as they're taking me off stage, I'm like yelling out like, censorship. And I just fucking walk off. I'm just smoking a cigarette, all drunk. Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, that was fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's like when the first rape joke doesn't work, double down.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I did that night.
Maybe the 4th rape joke would get him.
You never know. I might catch her.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, fuck, I couldn't imagine fucking waiting room of a movie theater. That's ridiculous.
That's
like
all we had.
We have crazy fucking spots out here, but it's usually like a bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you're in an environment that at least, nobody's going to watch Toy Story.
Right.
You get drunk, like one of the funniest bombs I ever had is this place called Urban Lounge.
Okay.
It's out here. Fucking Black Room, right?
Ooh.
And so I like black rooms. Like I do really well for some reason. Like this place, Silver Nugget, that we're gonna go to after this.
Okay.
Mostly black room.
Okay.
And so I go to this place and fucking everybody was eating dicks up there. And then I go up there just eating a dick. And I had 10 minutes. And so I'm just fucking powering through it. And at a certain point, there was this drunk black dude in the back. And every time I hit a punchline, he would just go, "There you go, man. Fuck him." And you just go, "All right." And then next punchline, he goes, "Yeah, fuck him." I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just doing my fucking material. But after every punchline, he would just go, "Fuck him." And then I kept going. I didn't acknowledge it really. I just kind of chuckled. And then I hit a punchline, and usually I wait for the laugh, but I'm waiting for him, for him to say, "Fuck him." And he didn't. And at this point, everybody was laughing at him. And so they all turned to him. And then I say in the microphone, "Fuck him." And then it got everybody on my side. I was like, oh, thank God.
That's awesome.
But it was such a weird fucking bomb. Because I feel like he was trying to help me out by fuck these people. Fuck him. He's on my side, but he's also fucking me up because I'm not used to that shit. It was great.
I did a black room in San Antonio called Bentley's, and this black comic, Quasi, would do it. And The first time I go there, I spill fucking Quasi's drink all over him. So I'm fucking such a spastic fuck. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, and he's like an important comic in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I do it, and I start off really great. And then I tried to black it up. I used the word popo.
Ugh.
And I just felt the whole room, just the assholes, just like, and I was like, God damn it, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then I got off stage, and then like one black guy was like, hey, you're funny, man, but I don't laugh out loud. So I'm a silent laugher. I'm like, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Too hard to laugh. You know, I'm like, oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I had one dude say, I don't even, because I have it recorded. I record almost all my sets.
Yeah.
And I have it recorded. And I was just watching it recently. And it was at that place that we're going to go to tonight. And like, I'm doing well up there. Like, I'm doing my thing. And then some dude off to the side says something. And I remember in the moment, like, I didn't really hear what he said. I just heard, yada, yada, your dick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you looking at my dick, bro? And then got fucking everybody going crazy. Like, he's looking at his dick. And like, he goes fucking nuts. And I was like, all right. And I'm like, I didn't know where to go from there. So I was like, see you later. I get off stage. But it was just wild. Like, I love black rooms. Like I said, like, and especially Silver Nugget, like, because they're loyal to the host.
Yeah.
And so they love the comics who come through. And so they'll fucking, sometimes they get like drunk, like any other drunks, and they just start yelling at you. Like, I've had that way too much where just people are just talking or yelling no matter where you are. That's the worst thing to deal with.
What I hate is when you're on stage and there's a table full of people and they're just talking to each other and they're just like, you could be dead for all they give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I try to get their attention and nothing.
Yeah. And I feel like it hurts your pride a little bit because you're like, I'm way more interesting than whatever you're talking about. It's like Cynthia's gender reveal. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I got stories.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem with Mike. Sometimes they're like ambush comedy. Like, you're just there to drink, and then all of a sudden, like, we got to listen to these fucking guys on stage.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like, well, I guess because I've always been obsessed with comedy.
Yeah.
But if like that happened to me, I'd be like, oh shit, like I didn't know this was going on.
Show,
like
right?
free comedy, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Especially like even before I did comedy, I would have thought that's like the coolest shit. But some people don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're too self-centered. Probably.
Oh man,
did you ever get in a fight in a comic club?
No. Thankfully, I've never like gotten into arguments with anybody or fights or anything like that. But shit happens, obviously. But I've been able to stay away from it.
Nice.
I feel like I'm just kind of like I'm kind of lovable,
Yeah.
It's like because I'm not aggressive. I'm not. I'm not intimidating. Fucking look at me. I'm not intimidating. It's just the voice.
Yeah, you look like a nice guy.
Yeah, it's just the voice is like, if I get loud with this deep voice, then it gets a little weird.
Yeah, you have like a trusting face that, your daughter could date you and not have to worry about shitting your pants all the time.
Yeah. Tell that to my girlfriend's dad.
He's just like, fuck.
I trusted your innocent face.
Dude, so we used to have this heckler that would go to our shows. And I was just a beginner, and he would like heckle you, and sometimes it was kind of smart, but a lot of times he would just do this golf clap, bah, bah, and like,
oh.
So then one mic, and we had this one mic that was good. He was like every other Monday at this bar, and they had a stage,
nice,
like proper, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on stage, and it's maybe like my 4th or 5th month,
yeah,
and this fucking cunt is like doing the clapping to everybody in front of me. So I'm like, all right. He looks like this, he looks like that, so I'm preparing all these insults for him. So I get off stage, he starts doing it, I go, what are you doing, man? And then I start fucking insulting him. And like I'm getting him like deep, like he looks like a fucking, like, I don't know, that just, all this shit. And I kind of finished with him, like, kill yourself, and I went on to my dits. And he's like, you're not funny. And I was like, it's like saying the N-word to a black guy. I was like, I started like, oh, motherfucker. So it's like, hey, I'm going to get off stage and beat the fuck out of this guy. And everybody goes, ah, and I put my mic down, and then he saw me coming, and he just like turned around, and I was just so mad. So I grabbed him by the fucking neck, and I threw him against the bar.
Damn.
And I called him like, I couldn't even talk right. I was so angry. Ah! And then I called him a cunt, and I slapped him upside the head. And then I was about to like just like dig into his ribs.
Yeah.
And my friend Fred grabbed me and pulled me outside before I could really fucking fuck the guy up. And
damn.
And I was like trembling, smoking a cigarette, like, fuck that guy, I'm gonna kill him or something, right? And then him and his friend come outside to like, I don't know, confront me. And I just look at him like, fuck yeah, and I fucking charge him. And then they're like, no, we're sorry, sir. We're sorry. And they call me sir. And they said, you're funny. I'm like, fucking bitch. I was dying to hit them.
Oh, man.
I would have beat the fuck out of both those guys and put them in the hospital.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
almost like like with this internet shit.
Yeah.
It's like people will talk so much shit online, like
Yeah.
comments. But
Yeah.
if you ever ran into them, they'd be
Yeah.
like, "I'm sorry, sir."
Yeah.
Like, and that's how he felt. It's like he thought, there's enough separation that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's almost like watching TV, and like
Yeah.
he could say whatever he wanted. But then when you started getting on him,
Yeah.
ready to fuck his shit up.
Well, I used to be a fighter, so like,
Oh man.
yeah, I have like a really low threshold for like disrespect. So
Oh,
then,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have to like, really hold my. And I'm 47, so I can't be fucking.
Yeah, you can't be
old.
fighting.
Oh, I got like bad knees, bad back. I'm all fucking old and shit. I can't be doing that shit anymore. But
That's great.
every once in a while, that shit comes out of me. I'm like, God damn it, don't. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Like, it takes a lot for me to get aggressive with somebody because I
Yeah.
fought all through high school. Like, I was picked on, and
Yeah.
I learned to fight that way.
You white, bro? Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. I was like, because I always say this, it's like I was too white for the Mexican guys and too Mexican for the white guys.
Same problem too.
So I was this weird middle ground. I hung out with the fucking stoners and the skater kids and shit. Like it was just, that little group. But for some reason, a lot of these Mexican kids, they had a problem with me. And like a lot of times, like it wasn't like I said something and like now there's beef or whatever. One time, some dude literally like after we fought or whatever, he just goes, I don't like you because you think you're tough. I was like, what the fuck gave that off? I was like, dude, because I was tall and skinny.
Yeah.
So I'm like almost 6 foot in high school.
No way.
But like 110 pounds, like just fucking terribly thin. And it's like I fucking walk around with my head down. It's like I don't talk to anybody but like my 2 friends and the girlfriend that I had. But for some reason they love to fuck with me. And so because I feel like I went through all that, it's like now, some drunk dude's running his mouth. It's easy for me to like, I'll talk some shit, but I'll never get heated. It takes like personal shit. You know what I mean? Like my girlfriend and I, like, we don't fight or anything. We don't fight each other, but it's like, it's like that personal, like deep connection arguments. That's when I get like real mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like if she's like accusing me of shit or you shit the bed, I'm like, bitch. Like, but it's like that type of shit really like brings aggression out in me. But like some drunk asshole at a bar, he would have to put his hands on me for me to fucking do anything.
Yeah.
It's like just the talking. So easy for me to walk away, and I'm very surprised that like
I'm just like, oh, I just slapped him in the face. Just,
right.
Pendejo, you know what I mean?
How good would that feel right now?
Sas, culero, right? I don't know. I had the same issues, man. Like, cause I spoke mostly English. My Spanish is terrible.
Yeah.
And then, and I don't speak I didn't speak ghetto kind of Spanish because my parents treated me right. I don't know. But,
I was raised right.
Yeah, so I get bullied all the time and shit. But
yeah,
so I just learned how to fight.
Yeah.
That's the only way to fix
I found out that like kids in high school, it's like a game to them.
Yeah.
Because they, like I said, they would just fuck me up randomly. Like I got jumped by like 3 guys. I was just walking to the corner store and they just pull up, get out, beat my ass and leave. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I didn't do anything.
There's always like more than one guy. That shit used to happen to me all the time.
And so like one time I realized because it's a game, but it's real to me. And so one day I'm walking home from school. Gang of these motherfuckers are following me. And then, they're talking shit, throwing shit at me or whatever. And then I finally stop. And I turn around and I let them all kind of get close to me. And like the main guy kind of talking shit, getting closer and closer, pulled out a knife.
Yeah.
And I just flipped it open. I was like, if we're doing this, we're fucking doing this. And he goes, well, what the fuck, pussy, bringing it thing. And I was like, no, man. I was like, I'm not fucking around anymore. And then that, like, it got them all to back off. And like, they didn't fuck with me after that. It was like,
snapped.
Yeah, I just snapped. I was like, I get it. Like, people shoot schools. Like, if you get bullied enough, like, you're ready to take motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Because I got to that point. I was like, dude, if you're going to keep fucking me up like this time I'm going to win.
I think that's some of the stuff that makes us comics. Like, that we have to, like, all that shit you kind of have to swallow and you're like, it comes out.
Yeah. Because, like I said, and I hear about a lot of people being, like, class clowns and got into stand-up later and all this. I fucking wasn't. Like, I was a nervous kid. I hated speaking in front of people, like shy, got my ass beat all the time. It's like I never, if you tell people from my high school that I do this now, they'd be blown away.
Yeah.
And be like, how the fuck did he turn into that,
Dude, same, bro. Like,
it's wild.
Yeah.
Like,
the only thing, I think the first kind of almost stand-up experience I had, I was like in 8th grade and I had to do a speech and I was a terrible student. I was like all ADD and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I just held a blank piece of paper and I made something up. And then people were laughing because I was telling a funny story,
Yeah.
and that was my speech. And I just went back, and then the only bad thing is I had a boner because I was 15 or 14. So I was like, they're all like looking at my dick. I'm like, feast your eyes, that right? And
Load after load.
after load.
Oh.
These underwears are crunchy. Yeah.
See, I don't name, like, I don't title these podcasts. It's just like,
load after
but
load.
that's what that would be the name of this the episode is like load.
Those quotes.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Dude, my friend Lewis would love that.
Yeah.
Load after load.
Load after load.
And I was like so excited telling the story.
That's awesome.
You know how you do.
Yeah, I hated public speaking. I couldn't handle it. I was too shy. Like, if we had to do, like, presentations and shit, I was, like, quiet and just talk. Those kids that they were just like, all right, I just have to read this and we're going to get through this. Like, and I wouldn't look at anybody and I'm just trying to get through it. That's how I was in high school. But then, yeah, after doing stand-up, like, it's really, brought that shit out of me,
I think doing drugs kind of broke that shit too, because like I'd smoke weed and do like pop pills during high school, and you'd be walking around the halls. I go into class though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking around.
I remember sleeping through like my junior and senior year because morphine. I was just fucked up,
Wow, you went to junior and senior year?
Oh yeah,
nice.
I was just fucked up and just lay my head down and fall asleep, and then wake up and try to figure out what the homework is.
Jesus.
I had a couple people who just let me copy their homework every day. I had in my biology class, I remember she was like this little chubby chick in love with me, and so I would just copy off her
chubby
homework.
Chicks do.
Yeah. And so I would just copy her work all the time, and just like, I was nice to her. It's like I wasn't an asshole, but it was like I was drugged up. I remember I was during my graduation, I was fucked up on morphine, and it was outside because it was a small school, on the football field. Because there's like 150 people in my graduating class, and so they're going down the line, this person, you walk and you get your shit, and I'm fucked up. I'm just sitting in my chair all high and shit, and then I had this moment of realization. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna call my name eventually. I'm gonna have to walk. I don't know if I can walk because like everything was hitting. Shit was numb. Like I was numb, and so I was like, fuck. They call my name, get up. Get all the way over there, get my diploma, I sit back down. I'm like, I made it. All right. Like 5 minutes goes by and I go, oh shit, they're going to call my name. I'm going to have to get up. I was like, oh no, you already did that. I was like, oh fuck, man.
Fucking drugs.
I was so fucked up. It was great. But nobody ever knew.
Yeah. Dude, my 2 years of high school, I had half of one credit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how much I'd skip. I just show up and be like, let's go fuck around. And then we'd like, back then the high school was kind of surrounded by woods, and we would jump the fence and we would just go and get high and fuck around.
Yeah.
Or we would leave and just go across the river and drink beers.
Yeah. I got hit with like they were gonna do the truancy shit on me one time. Because in the month of November, I think it was my freshman year of high school. In the month of November, I missed 22 days.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like my parents had no idea. And then they finally sent the letter. And like I intercepted a couple of them just by chance.
Nice.
And so, but eventually like they were getting phone calls and all of this shit. And I got busted hard. And my dad, Mexican, and just fucking yelling and shit. And I was high, like smoking weed and shit. So I was just like, oh, fuck. Because that's what me and my cousin would do. He was a grade above me. We grew up together. And so we just, fuck it, we're not going to go to school. And so we would like hide out in my my shed, like in the backyard. We would like pretend like we're walking to school, go around to the other block, go through their yard and jump the back fence and just sit in the shed. And we just smoke weed all day. Like a couple times we made sandwiches and shit just to get us through the day. And we would just sit there and bullshit and just get high. But yeah, we got busted hardcore.
Dude, I used to love getting high and listen to Pink Floyd and just chill.
Yeah.
Man, I had to go to truancy court.
Oh, yeah?
Because I got caught, and my mom took me. And I was a fucking savage, dude. I was sitting with my mom. The fucking judge is an asshole. He's just like yelling at me. Yeah. My mom starts crying. I start getting mad. So I told him, I don't know why I told him this, but I told him to suck the shit out of my asshole. Fuck you. And then he's like, 10 days in contempt of court. I'm like, huh? I'm like, shit, you can do that? I tried to like fucking like run because I wasn't this fat. I was like, I was 15. And I went to juvie, and
Nice.
yeah, it was weird because but my dad pulled a string or some shit, and they got me out in a day.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
I only had to do 1 day. It was not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. My cousins and I, we like through it because my parents didn't mind us, at like 15, like drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
But it had to be like around them, And so one day we're in the backyard and we're fucking hanging out. We got some friends over, like beer pong and shit. We're doing the whole thing, and it gets busted. Fucking cops roll in, and fucking my parents were sleeping, and it was a whole fucking deal. So we all have to go to the because it was minor in consumption,
Right.
so we have to go to these classes and shit. All of us. And so we're sitting in there, and it's like me, my brother, my cousin. It's like all my family's in there, like all these guys that I grew up with, like all my family, and we're all in the same class. And so they go down the line of asking people, like, why are they here? Like, because everything was court mandated. So, like, why are you here? Whatever, why are you here? Get to my cousin, and he was like, I threw a party at my house, and it got busted. And they get to my brother, who's sitting right next to him, why are you here? And he goes, I was at his party. And she goes, oh, so you guys know each other? Yeah, it's my cousin. They get to me, and they go, why are you here? I was at his party as well. And she goes, God damn it. And so she split us up. Like, we couldn't sit near each other. I was like, you bitch.
That's the worst.
It was great.
Yeah. I remember one summer I had a cousin stay with me. I feel a little bad about this, and because I was already doing coke. And we would go all night, and it was Mexico, so we can go across the river to Mexico and drink all night and buy coke. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, so one whole summer we're just getting fucked up all the time, and I had a cat, and we were like really paranoid about walking to the middle, like to go to the bathroom, because the bathroom was outside of my bedroom, obviously, as a kid. So we're like, the house kind of creaks, just moving, right? So then we just started pissing in the fucking. The fucking litter box, and it just turned all black. I'm like, oh, that is not good. Then we started pissing into this cooler, but we just keep it closed.
Oh, wow.
It'd been there for like the 2 months that you'd been there.
Ugh.
And then we're like trying to take it down outside the house. It doesn't drop. Just imagine it was one of those foam coolers. So if you drop it, it's probably going to fall apart. And just the abomination of like 3 months of drinking and like teenager
beer piss is slowly eating away at it.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. We like spilled it out, and it smelled like death.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking threw the fucking thing away. Like, it was the worst.
Disgusting.
Only the best stories for you.
Right. Fucking childhood shit, bro. I love that. I love that shit.
No shit, right?
Oh, man. All right. Well, we hit about an hour. So we'll wrap this shit up. Do you have any social media you want to plug? I'll put all the links in the description as well.
Sure. Just Nando Comedy on Instagram. And that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah,
and I got Texas people who listen to this.
Cool.
Because like I said, I grew up in Texas for a while. So I got Texas people. Go to Laredo. Go check them out. Go check out the scene out there. Send
me the links. I'll put it on my stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once I
my
upload
one page.
everything. I'll let you know. But yeah, definitely go follow him. He's a fucking hilarious comic. Like, I just met you a couple days ago. You're out here with Brandon Dolly, who's probably going to be on the podcast either tomorrow or Monday. Dude, I've been grinding on this shit.
Yeah,
I've
had
one podcast a day for tired. I talk too much as it is.
Nah, that's cool, man.
But yeah, definitely go follow Nando. Follow my Instagram. Obviously, you guys are going to hear me say it every fucking episode. A_Hernandez_comedy is my Instagram. Check it out. If you're a new viewer and you're checking out this podcast, subscribe. Help me out. You get to see interviews and crazy stories from comics in Vegas and traveling comics. So if you like comedy, follow them, follow everybody. What else? That's about it. Until next time, you dirty cocksuckers.